I'm going to make this video short and sweet because honestly I don't know a heck of a lot about NASCAR. But I think the whole world was watching as Danica Patrick became the first woman to finish in the top 10 at the Daytona 500, breaking yet another proverbial glass ceiling. Last week, she became the first woman pole setter with the fastest car at qualifying. Danica Patrick, who's now a member of Tony Stewart's racing team, made history in a huge way. In fact, Jimmie Johnson won the race, but who cares? He wins all the time, and the big news is Danica Patrick finished in 8th in the Super Bowl of NASCAR. Coming out of IndyCar, she's practically a rookie. This is going to be her first full season, and she finishes 8th place in the biggest race of the year at Daytona. She led 5 laps, which is another first for a woman in NASCAR. She was in 3rd place going into the final lap, and she, in the post, game synopsis, surmised that she really didn't know what to do. She doesn't have experience in being in that position in NASCAR, and she referred to the fact that she learned when Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually let himself fall back, developed some momentum, and was able to push himself and Jimmie Johnson right past her, and she kind of fell back to 8th place from 3rd. So she learned in the process of losing. And if you watch her post-game or post-race comments, you'll see she's not satisfied. All the guys are happy for her. They're happy to be part of this historic day in sports and in racing. But she seems kind of Tiger Woods-like in that she's not satisfied that she didn't win. You could see she's disappointed. She wanted to win this thing, and that's the mark of a champion. She only won 1 IndyCar race, but I think she's more suited for NASCAR based on what I've watched. And like I said, I'm not an expert. I only started watching NASCAR because of my affiliation with Home Depot in the past coincided with that of Tony Stewart's. So I followed his career. He was always a rebel. He never went along with the good old boys. He was kind of a rebel who fought everybody outside of the box, and Danica Patrick is much like that. You see her getting frustrated when she gets banged into a wall or something like that. So she's perfectly suited to race with Tony Stewart, and I think that team is going to be something to be reckoned with. Though, like I said, I'm not an expert. I hope she could make the chase. That would be interesting at the end of the NASCAR year. We'll see. She certainly gets a lot of points for leading the race for 5 laps, for coming in 8th, and we'll see what happens in the next big race with Danica Patrick. But I'll say the most important thing about this is all the new fans, not just women, but fans that the sport is going to draw. I used to be one of those people who just made fun of it as, hey, they're just a bunch of guys making left-hand turns. Well, before Tiger Woods came along, I didn't know what the difference between a short game and putting was. I didn't know any of the terminology or rules of golf the way I do now. I didn't know what a dog leg was or anything like that. So now, as Tiger Woods, what he did for golf, you're going to see Danica Patrick possibly do for NASCAR, and just widen the sport's popularity and bring it to a whole nother level. So there you go, Danica Patrick, 8th place in the Daytona 500, the Super Bowl of NASCAR.